Hi guys. So today I'm going to be walking you through just a single very short skill creation video, and just to highlight how I think about skills and why I think they're very powerful. So this is somewhat crypto related. So if you're interested in doing analytics on smart contracts, on wallets, I found this tool. This is by Alchemy. He's an ex, I think he's used to work. He's an ex, I think, Dune analytics engineer, and he has this amazing tool called Herd, which lets you do all types of things with on-chain analytics. So you can do things like create transactions. You can look at token activity. You can look at look at a certain wallet and get like an overview of the wallet. It's really powerful. It's really good. So, and they have an MCP. You can see here I just configured the MCP on. Actually, I configured the CLI, not the MCP. It's the same thing. What I want to do is, given a smart contract, I want the agent to just, whenever I execute the skill, is to read the smart contract, understand it, and then create an HTML page for me that I can kind of share or easily digest. Okay, so that's the kind of the skill that I want to write. So here we go. So all right, so now it's gonna take some time. It's gonna go. The agent's gonna go and create the skill, and then yeah, I'll come back. We'll come back to this when it's done. So I'm just gonna give you an overview. So what is actually happening here? Here we go. So simply you have an agent. You have Herd MCP. You have. It would probably also use the Alchemy API, and I think I also have, in some cases, might get the OpenSea API. So I might use all three of these tools, right? And we have a skill here. This is the skill. So the skill is going to be kind of pulling information from all these tools. There we go. All right, and then right there. So you have the skill in the middle. The skill is going to be giving instructions, pulling in instructions from all these tools to use them, put them in a workflow, and the agent is going to run the skill, and then I've defined the output to be, let's put it here, to be an HTML. So HTML. So it's going to be, actually, let's do this. So it's going to be, there's actually a step in between, like there's here.now. Here.now is a cool, again, agentic kind of app that lets you via API publish just HTML pages on just random domains. You can actually link your own domain, but by default it lets you just publish on random domains. So this is, and then let's change the color of this, make it blue. Right, so here we go. And this is going here. And this is HTML. All right, so this is what's happening, right? So I built the skill. The skill is sitting in the middle. It's going to read use all these tools, use this tool. The agent is going to run the skill and publish this HTML web page at the end as the final result. And this is kind of a repeatable task, right? That we can run whenever on a given smart contract. So this is kind of the architecture of this skill. So let's go back to the agent. Yep, so the skill is created. Disable single HTML layout every time. All right, perfect. So let's test it out. So wait, let's read all the skills. So make sure the new skill is there. All right, so run smart contract audit on. I'm gonna take, this is a contract by, yeah, let's run it on this one. Let's get this contract. This is like an NFT contract by Adam. I think it was like an NFT mint. It's pretty interesting, but I did not really understand what the contract does. So maybe this could help us. And let's go. Let's see what we get. The output should be, like we said, an HTML page, right? That renders. So let's wait for this. Give it a few seconds. Maybe it's going to take probably like 3-4 minutes. So I'm going to write it. Okay, So here we go. This was the audit. It was run on the contract, blah, blah. These are some of the highlights of what we did. And let's see the output. So usually these things I iterate on them a few times, but let's see how the output looks. All right, so summary, deployer profile, how much ETH he has, contract type, function map. Oh, cool. So every function has a, contextualized explanation. And then risk notes, notable deployer deployments. So these are past deployments, the dependencies, and the recent activity. So this is like from the first run. This is what we got. From here, I'd probably just iterate a bit on the design and on some of the content. But yeah, so now every time I can get a smart contract, I can go to my agent, I can run it on a cron job, I can say, hey, do this, and it will generate this for me every single time. So imagine if you're, a proper auditor or someone who has prior audit experience, they can probably build this skill to be comprehensive in a way, right? It would take a bit more time, but this is where expertise comes in. So, I think one important note to put here, this right here, right? Let's add something here. So this, there we go. Expertise. So at some point, you need, whenever you're creating skills, right, in any field, I think it's important to have the expertise, right? So right now I created an audit skill, but I'm not an auditor, right? But if there was an auditor who's going to be creating a skill for his company, for his clients, he's going to do a much better job, and he's going to be able to create a really powerful skill that uses, I'm using currently Herd MCP. I could enrich it from Alchemy, I could enrich from OpenSea if it's an NFT contract. Like you can plug in any API here and would probably enrich this skill and then eventually enrich the output that came out here. So there's a lot of engineering right here, right? I think it's going to become more and more valuable as this world adapts and evolves. So, all right.